everyone, welcome to today's video. If this is your first time here, my name is Risa, and I was a freelance makeup artist for more than 22 years before becoming a full-time beauty content creator here on YouTube about 8 years ago. So I started this channel when I was 42 years old, and almost exactly 5 months ago, I turned 50. I think everybody has a bit of a, I don't want to say breakdown at the start of a new decade, because some people embrace it. Some people are super excited for their 30s or their 40s or their 50s and beyond. I was not so excited to turn 40, but my 40s turned out to be probably the best decade of my life. But hitting 50 hit different. I don't need to tell you that when you hit 50, and it happens at different times for everybody. For some people, it can happen in your early 40s or mid 50s. It doesn't matter what time it happens, but changes happen, obviously, as we age. Our skin changes, our hair changes, our body changes, our hormones change. And all of these things can have an impact on how we feel about ourselves, which in turn impacts our day-to-day lives. So what I wanted to do today was share with you 5 beauty and lifestyle / fashion changes that I have made since turning 50. The first thing I've done is make changes to my skincare, not just my skincare routine, but I have finally started incorporating devices, skincare devices into my routine. Whenever I have posted a skincare or anti-aging video in the past, inevitably someone or several people will ask me if I use any skincare devices or if I go and get any treatments at the dermatologist's office or the med spa. And my answer was always no. And one of the main reasons for that is because, I'm just gonna say it, I am lazy. L-A-Z-Y when it comes to using at-home devices. Heck, I used to be super lazy even when it came to applying a hair mask a couple times a week. So the chances of me using an at-home skincare device consistently enough to actually see results were slim. So when the brand Nera approached me about wanting to collaborate on a video, I was hesitant, but I did some research and read some pretty glowing reviews, talked to some of my friends who have used and loved their product, so I finally told them I would try it. This is the Nera Pro Laser. It is the first and only completely painless at-home laser for treatment of wrinkles on the face, the neck, the chest, and the hands. So after seeing many of my peers use this device and see some really amazing results, I decided that I did want to accept the Nera 90-day challenge. I am 60 days into that challenge, and I am so proud of myself because I have been using this laser consistently. And the reason why I'm able to use it so consistently is because I actually find it fun to use. After I wash and dry my face, I turn on my laser, and I actually have it at the highest setting. There are 5 comfort settings. I'm fine at the highest. And this laser has an easy to use, large enough tip to treat the full face in just 3 minutes a day. You just place the laser onto your skin. After 2 seconds, you will hear a beep, and then you move on to the next area. Once I've completed the treatment, I take the Nera Hyaluronic Acid Serum and apply that all over my face. It smooths fine lines and wrinkles. It's deeply hydrating. It has a very light and airy texture, and it works to tighten the skin instantly, while the Nera Laser provides dramatic, long-lasting results over time. There's no pain, there's no redness, and there's no downtime. Here are my results after 60 days. I did my very best to be in the same lighting at the same time. What I want you to pay special attention to is this area right here. I have very, very thick skin on my nose and lots of broken capillaries around the nostrils. And what I've noticed the most, what I did notice the most when looking at these before and afters, is that not only does the texture of my skin look better overall, the Nera Pro Laser has drastically diminished already in just 60 days the look of the broken capillaries around my nostril. I was shocked when I took that after photo. I have to say that I am very proud of myself for being so consistent with this laser, and I really encourage you to take the Nera 90-day challenge. You will have visibly firmer, younger looking skin in 90 days, and Nera guarantees it with a full money back guarantee. So I do want to thank Nera for being so persistent in getting me to try this product and for sponsoring a portion of this video. Of course, I will have the link to purchase your very own Nera Pro down below in the description box of this video. Now, a lifestyle change that I have made since turning 50 has been completely, well, not completely, almost completely cutting out alcohol. And this is huge for me, huge, because a lot of you that maybe follow me on Instagram, you know how much I love my cocktails. Margaritas in the summertime, maybe an espresso martini. I'm not much of a wine drinker. I do drink wine on occasion, but I'm much more of a cocktail girl. But ever since I've turned 50, I can no longer truly have more than one drink without feeling really sick or just uncomfortable or nauseous. Nowadays, even one cocktail affects my sleep. It affects my mood. I went out for a friend's birthday last weekend and had 2 cocktails and was in bed pretty much the entire next day. Now you might be thinking, Risa, you just said you cut out alcohol, but yet you went drinking last weekend. Well, that's why I said I have almost completely cut out alcohol. I used to have a cocktail or a glass of wine at least once or twice midweek on a weeknight. And then always on a Friday night or Saturday night, I would make myself a cocktail or 2 or maybe even 3. But now I will only have a glass of wine or a cocktail if it is a special occasion. If I'm going out for someone's birthday or I have friends coming to town. I live in Las Vegas. It's very difficult to go out to these nice restaurants and see these fantastic cocktails and not order one. Now you'd think the fact that cocktails in Las Vegas are anywhere between $20 and $25 a piece, that would be a deterrent from ordering a drink. But unfortunately, it's not. I will still order a cocktail if I'm out with girlfriends or even maybe on a date night with my husband, I'll order a nice glass of wine. But I would say that I have gone from drinking about maybe 10 to 12 drinks a month to 1 or 2. And not only have I done that because it just makes me feel better to not drink alcohol, I'm noticing that I am dropping a few pounds. I think we've all seen that meme where the man stops drinking alcohol and he drops like 20 or 30 pounds immediately. The woman stops drinking alcohol and she's lucky if she loses like 2 or 3. That is so true. However, the longer you go without alcohol, at least that's what I'm finding, is that we will lose not 20 to 30 pounds, unfortunately. I mean, maybe somebody could, but I have only dropped about 5 pounds, but I'm happy with that because I think we all know what a struggle it becomes to lose weight after a certain age. Moving on to the subject of weight, which is always a touchy subject for anyone to speak about. I am not on any sort of diet. I'm just not. I do intermittent fasting. I've talked about that in many videos. I haven't done one recently, but it's been about 5 years now that I've been doing intermittent fasting, maybe even more. So I do have a couple of videos I can link in the description box that are a few years old, but I have been doing intermittent fasting for a long time now. I will eat between the hours of noon and 8 p.m. and then nothing else, unless I do make exceptions for vacations and then, dinner parties. Like last weekend, I was saying I went out for my friend's birthday and our dinner reservation wasn't until like 8:30, didn't eat until 9 o'clock. So I do make exceptions. However, most days it's pretty much a guarantee that I will not eat before noon or after 8 p.m. That said, I am also trying to be more cognizant of what I eat during that 8-hour window. And one of the things I've been doing is incorporating more protein into my diet. I do not want to do the carnivore diet. I have a family history of very bad heart disease. My father had quadruple heart bypass surgery when he was 48 years old. He did have a couple of small heart attacks after that, and he currently has a pacemaker. So because of that, I was advised by my physician to not do anything like the carnivore diet. However, I can still incorporate as much protein as possible. So my eating window goes a little bit something like this. Around noon-ish, I will have lunch, and a lot of you know that I eat Factor meals quite often. They're a home delivery meal service that I do talk about every 1 or 2 months on my channel because I am a Factor partner. I work with them on a regular basis. So I have a Factor meal around noon, and then about 3 p.m. I will make a shake using this Premier protein powder. As you saw in that footage, it gives me 30 grams of protein. So I do feel full until it's time to eat dinner. And I thought I would show you a couple snacks that I eat quite often. Like if I'm going on a road trip, I'll take them in the car to eat as a snack, or sometimes just in the middle of the afternoon, I will want to have just something. The next lifestyle change I've made is I have once again incorporated more movement, more exercise into my routine. Before COVID hit, I was going to Orange Theory classes at least 3 times a week. And if you're not familiar with Orange Theory, I can leave a link in the description box. You can check it out. It's basically 30 minutes of cardio and then 30 minutes of weight training, and your heart rate, you wear a heart rate monitor, and you're supposed to be in this certain zone, which they call the orange zone, or if I remember correctly, there's also a green zone and a red zone and a blue zone. I don't remember because after the COVID restrictions were lifted, I just never went back. They started by having smaller class sizes, and it was more difficult to get into a class, especially the times that I wanted to. And then they were making you, I don't think they still are, but they were making you wear a mask while you worked out. And I have a deviated septum and collapsed nostrils, so it is really, really difficult to breathe when wearing a mask. I did it, but not in a workout class. There was no way I could wear one in a workout class, so I just never went. And I started working out at home. My husband and I purchased a hydro rower. We also have a treadmill. But then about a year ago, November will be 1 year, I ended up with a disc protrusion in my neck. I woke up in the middle of the night in excruciating pain, unable to move my left arm, hand, or shoulder. I almost went to the emergency room, but I didn't. I ended up going to see, obviously, a doctor. I got an MRI. I went to physical therapy. And then, as if that wasn't enough, in December, I was taking my dog out, who is a senior dog, who unfortunately did pass away about a month ago. I'm not even gonna go there because I'll get too upset. But for about the last year or so, we've pretty much had to carry her because our house has stairs. So we carry her down the stairs, we take her out to the yard to do her business and put her down. And so one morning in December, I had brought her in from outside and was putting her back down on the ground in the kitchen, and I could not get up. I could not move. I was stuck on all fours. Well, I put her down and then I kind of fell forward with my hands in front of me and I couldn't get up. So I called for my husband, and it was about 6:30 in the morning, and he didn't hear me. So I called him again, and he comes out and he's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I said, "I cannot move. I cannot get up." So I eventually was able to get onto my back, and I laid on that floor for 2 hours before we finally called an ambulance, because you don't want to go in an ambulance. You don't want to go to the hospital. I kept thinking that, oh, I just pulled something. It's just a little spasm. It will go away. It never went away. It was horrible. I ended up being admitted to the hospital for 2 nights. I almost had to cancel our family trip to London and Paris that I had been so looking forward to. That was just 2 weeks later. Long story short, I have another disc dislocation in my lower back. So I have one up here and one down here. And of course, I went to physical therapy for a really long time. I was on a medication for a really long time. Thankfully, I am doing better. But the reason why I'm telling you this whole long drawn out story is because it has made me pretty much unable to do a lot of the things, the workouts that I used to do. I cannot do the rower anymore. And even when I walk, I get pain in my lower back after a while. And it's supposed to help you. Walking is supposed to help you when you have disc issues. But for me, it just puts me in pain and then I end up in bed. So where am I going with this? I'm going to Pilates and yoga, but more so Pilates. I am loving my Pilates workouts, and I do not go anywhere to do my Pilates. I just roll out my mat that I got at TJ Maxx. I go to YouTube on my television. I find whatever 10, 15, 20, 30-minute Pilates workout I can find. I typically like them to be about 20 minutes. And then I just follow along. And I have been doing this for about 3 months now, and I have already started to see a difference in the tone, the overall tone of my body, because I was getting really, really soft. I may be thin. You might look at me, you might look at some of my fashion videos and think, oh my God, she looks so thin. How does she stay so thin? Well, part of it is genetics. I grew up being very, very, very almost underweight. And then even after I had my second son, I was back down to pretty much my high school weight. But then the weight, crept up, as it tends to do as we get older. And when you see my fashion videos or my posts on Instagram, most of the time I am wearing some sort of shapewear. And of course things were firming up when I was doing Orange Theory consistently. But then when I stopped, everything just sort of went south. So Pilates has not only helped me to tone up, but just taking that 20, 25 minutes to myself and doing something for myself is really almost therapeutic. It's really good to take that time to do something good for you and your health. And I can do these exercises without hurting myself or making my disc dislocations worse. I love that you can find so many different types of workouts for free right here on YouTube. Do you remember back in the days before YouTube, we had to buy VHS workout tapes or compact discs? Raise your hand if you did the 30-day shred or the kickboxing. What was her name? Shailene Johnson, maybe? Turbo Kick? And then there was another workout program called The Firm that my friend and fellow YouTuber Stephanie Marie was actually in an infomercial for. I believe that was back in like 2004. So anyway, it's great that we don't have to do that now. I mean, those programs are still available, maybe not The Firm, but some other ones are. But I just love that I can go to YouTube and find any type of workout I'm looking for. Pilates, yoga, maybe a dance workout like a Zumba class. I'm not gonna lie, I am really someone who dislikes exercise. So what you need to do is find something that you actually enjoy doing. And then of course you wanna see some results, because results is what keeps us going, whether it be with exercise or a skincare device. The fifth change that I've made is with fashion and my closet, my wardrobe. I'll be honest with you, I used to buy a lot of trendy clothes and they weren't always the most high quality. Let's just say that. But I've always preached that people should wear what they want, what they feel good in. I really don't see an age limit on anything. If someone is 60 and they want to wear a leather miniskirt, I say, go for it. If you are my age and you want to wear ripped jeans, go for it. Last spring, I uploaded an entire video dedicated to that specific subject. But what I want to say to you now is that since turning 50, my opinion hasn't changed. I still think you should wear whatever you want. I personally have decided to invest, and some of you are probably already doing this. I'm investing in more high quality pieces, less overall consumption and more quality, and actually re-wearing the things that I have. As an influencer, you're really not allowed almost, or you really just don't feel comfortable wearing a dress or an outfit more than once. We feel like if it's been photographed and it's been put on social media, whether it's ours or someone else's, we can't wear it again. It's like it's against the influencer rules or something. But I am throwing that rule out the window, and I am re-wearing things that I love, that I have invested good money into, and I just don't care. And I am not going to be going to very many fast fashion places anymore and just buying to buy, or buying because something's on sale, or buying because I saw it look really cute on an influencer. And of course I will always love a good sale, but I'm not going to buy something just because it's on sale. But if I see a beautiful cashmere sweater that is marked down from $700 to $100, I'm probably going to buy it, because a cashmere sweater is usually a good investment. Recently I did go through my closet and get rid, well, I'm going to donate so many items. So many of my cutesy little Amazon dresses. I just don't feel like they're me anymore. I still love a floral print or a ruffle here and there, but I'm paying a little bit more attention to where I would wear these things. How many times can I wear it? Would I feel comfortable wearing it 10 years from now? Is it a classic piece? Don't get me wrong, I'm still clicking on some fashion influencers' links too, when I see them showing a really cute pair of jeans or maybe a pair of boots. But sometimes I'll see these influencers in like full-on outfits or dresses that I just don't need, because I already have so many similar things unworn in my closet already. And I've started utilizing Pinterest more. I know I'm really, really late to the party on this one. So many people use Pinterest to search for hairstyles and makeup looks and fashion, and I just never really did, but now I do. I'm looking for inspiration more in my age range. I never ever want to be frumpy, but whereas I wanted to be perceived as maybe more feminine and sexy through my 40s, of course, I still want to be perceived as feminine and sexy, but I wanted to skew a little bit more to the elegant side, if that makes sense. Having said all of that, I don't want anyone to confuse what I've said with me believing that people can't wear what they want. I have not changed my views on that. If you want to rock, like I said, a mini skirt or ripped jeans or even a revealing bodycon dress, if you feel like $1 million in that dress, I fully support you wearing it and rocking it. Okay, this video turned out to be a lot longer than I thought it would be, but if you know me at all, you know I like to talk. And this is a subject that I think we can all relate to. A lot of us are in the same boat, just dealing with so many different changes in our lives that we just weren't prepared for. We thought we were prepared for it, but until you actually experience it, you really can't say the things that you would do or how you would feel. So anyway, these are just the things I have been doing differently since I turned 50, and I hope to maybe have given you some inspiration, or perhaps you just enjoyed having a little woman-to-woman conversation. If you did enjoy this video, I really appreciate you giving it a thumbs up. Once again, I will have the link to the Nera Pro Laser down below in the description box. I will also put links to some of the other videos I mentioned, like my intermittent fasting videos, which, by the way, are pretty old. So if I look different, I have not had any surgery or anything like that, but I did maybe have bigger lips in one of those videos because I did have lip filler at the time of those videos, but I had it dissolved and I haven't gotten any since. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, I hope that you will consider hitting the subscribe button and joining the Risa Does Makeup family. I do upload new videos at least twice per week. You can also find more content from me over on Instagram and on TikTok. My username is the same everywhere. It's Risa Does Makeup. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.